We're going to set up typically on the driver's side rear of the vehicle. Sometimes we'll start on the passenger side rear. Just all depends on how many people we have helping that day and what's going to be the most efficient process. We're going to go ahead now and bring the pressure washer hose over here. So while we're bringing this over here, we're going to tuck it underneath the mat. That helps keep the hose a little bit tighter. So you're gonna have your bucket that you got all filled up, brushes and everything. My tool of choice for working on low areas is this rack attack here. So I'll use this. You could use a kneeling pad if you don't prefer to sit on the rack attack. Then we're gonna have our bottle of degreaser here. So this is typically how I set it up. I have the bucket on my right side. I'm right-handed. And I'll have the degreaser on my left side and the rack attack in the middle. The first thing we're going to do is take our degreaser, we're going to pump this up. Depending on the amount of degreaser in here, it'll either take longer or shorter to pump up to get the pressure. So right now we don't have a whole lot, it's kind of near the bottom, so this is going to take a little bit more pumping action to get pressurized. Okay, then we're going to take our pressure washer, we'll undo the trigger guard, rinse off the wheel well, wheel and tire areas. So now that that's rinsed, we're ready for the degreaser. So we're going to spray in the wheel well area, and then we're going to spray around the tire. You're not trying to get the wheel, but overspray is going to get there regardless, so no big deal. Then you'll take the wheel cleaner, spray that on the face of the wheel, try to get back in the barrel of the wheel too. So now that we have our degreaser and wheel cleaner on there, we want to give that time to dwell on the surface, do as much cleaning as it can chemically. But we're going to start with the lug nut brush, that kind of wet, and we'll just go in and clean around the lug nuts. To kind of brush it against that grit guard, the side grit guard. Then I'll just set it back in there. Get the wheel woolly wet and soapy, and then just kind of wring it out a little bit with your hand to wring out any excess. Starting at the top of the wheel, working our way down, we'll clean the barrel of the wheel. So while doing this, you're going to put the wheel woolly in, and you're going to kind of angle it this way and then this way. So that way you're covering as much surface area as possible. I'll just put that back there. Then I'll take our wheel brush. This is for the face of the wheel. I usually go around the edge like that. You can dip it back in if you want, or you can continue to go, depending on how dirty it is. These wheels aren't terrible. We'll just clean the face of the wheel. And you want to scrape the bristles along the side of that grit guard just to knock loose any dirt. Next, we want to get our wheel well. So we're going to grab the fender well brush. On cars, it's a little tricky to get inside here sometimes. So you just want to be careful not to be banging the paint or anything. So once you're in there, just scrub away the best you can. You want to clean as much as possible. Take it, scrape it alongside that grit guard. And we're going to take our tire brush and we'll clean the tire. And when you're cleaning the tire, be careful not to touch the wheel with this brush because these bristles are stiffer and they do have the potential to scratch wheel surfaces. Again, we'll scrape it alongside the side grit guard. Now we're ready to rinse. Always go top to bottom. So we're going to start with the wheel well. Then we'll rinse our wheel and tire. I'm going to take the pressure washer hose. We want to go to the front driver's side area. So we're just going to walk this around. Now that the pressure washer is there, now we'll move the rest of the equipment. Now we're set up to clean the next wheel, tire, wheel well area, and then we'll proceed around the vehicle. We'll go to the front passenger side and then the rear passenger side. So essentially we are going clockwise. Now, if we're working with 2 or 3 people, we'll start on the passenger rear. We'll go to passenger front, driver front, and finally driver's rear. But for solo operation, driver's rear seems to be a little bit more efficient just because we have everything on this side already, and then we'll go to that side, and then the passenger side is where we start washing the car.